Amanda here, and today we're talking about some new products from Huda Beauty. She's got a new little complexion line coming out, the star of which is this new stick foundation. This is the Faux Filter Skin Finish. There's also a new hydrating primer on the scene. This is the Water Jelly Hydrating Primer. And there's also a new foundation brush. This is the Build and Buff brush. It is a double-ended synthetic brush. So we're going to be trying out all of this stuff. I do have a nice wear test, and I'm just going to sort of give you the breakdown because these products are currently available from the Sephora website. This little info card that the Huda Beauty team sent over with these products for me says that it won't be available online until October 29th. It will be available in Sephora stores on November 2nd. Let's start with the brush because I kind of have the least to say about this one. This is a double-ended synthetic brush. It's priced at $33 US. We've got a pointed end for detail work. This is good for getting under the eye, around the nose, you know, little detail work. Then we have a little semi-rounded, really dense buffer brush. This is great for the larger planes of the face. I did end up using this in the demo portion, so you'll get to see this brush in action. Overall, just kind of a regular foundation brush. I mean, it did work well for me. I don't know if it was $33 worth of work, but it worked well. It's a foundation brush. It's pretty good. I think where it really gets interesting is when we start talking about this hydrating primer and this new foundation stick. The primer is also priced at $33, just like the brush. The bottle is plastic, as is the lid. It looks glass, but it's plastic, so it's not super duper heavy. This contains 1.18 fluid ounces of product, so just over an ounce. It does have a little pump dispenser. The claims on this are it's an ultra hydrating skin complex, helps to lock in moisture and keep your foundation in place. The unique jelly texture melts into the skin for quick hydration that provides a makeup ready canvas in seconds. Just side note on the primer, I was looking at the ingredients to see if this had any coconut oil. I know that some people are allergic to coconut, and that coconut oil is not necessarily great for the pores and all that good stuff. This does not contain any coconut as far as I can tell, but this does have alcohol listed pretty high up in the ingredients list, which is not a hydrating product. I mean, this does have water and glycerin, but I feel like alcohol is a drying ingredient. I don't know. I'm not a cosmetic chemist, but I just thought that was worth pointing out because that's a little bit weird. Now let's talk about the foundation stick. This is the Faux Filter Skin Finish Buildable Coverage Foundation Stick. It's priced at $39 US and it comes in 39 shades. I was so confused looking on the Sephora app and counting and recounting. Then I went over to the Huda site and it was really messing with my mind that there were 39 and not 40 shades. This product is 12.5 grams or 0.44 ounces. Now, the total product in here was kind of throwing me off because on average, foundations tend to be about 1 fluid ounce. So with this being less than half an ounce, it was kind of throwing me off, but I did go and look at the Hourglass foundation stick. That one's $46, so it's more expensive than this Huda one, and it has 7 grams or 0.25 ounces. So that one's more expensive and has less product. I know in general Hourglass tends to be pretty pricey, but I just wanted to see where the bar was as far as amount of product in the stick foundation because it's not fluid ounces, so I just thought that was a at least semi-relevant comparison. This packaging is really cool. It has the clear to black ombre. It's very reminiscent of her liquid foundation, reminiscent of her lipstick packaging, so I really like that. This is all plastic, and then We have a square foundation stick instead of a circular one. Then you twist up to dispense the product like so. Let's read the claims for this foundation stick. It's a natural finish. It's formulated for all skin types. Coverage says full to light, which I guess is their way of saying buildable. It is a lightweight foundation that glides on easily, providing customizable coverage with a natural looking skin-like finish. It's cruelty-free, fragrance-free, transfer-proof, waterproof, humidity and sweat resistant. Melts into the skin for a natural filtered finish. That's funny because you'll see on my first check-in that I kind of talked about that. Whether you prefer full or light coverage, this versatile formula will let you be the master of your own complexion. Swipe it on, set it, and forget it for the rest of the day. I love reading product descriptions. They're so corny. So we are going to see if these products can live up to any of those claims. I'm going to start with the demo, so me actually using these products at the beginning of the day. I did do one midday check-in, and then we'll finish up with a final check-in after about 6 hours of wear, and I will give you all my thoughts at the end. So let's go to barefaced Amanda and start the process of testing this foundation. I like to start off my foundation reviews with just a nice close-up shot of my completely clean, bare skin. That way you have sort of a baseline to compare as far as coverage and finish. I just think that this is sort of a helpful way to get started with the foundation review. Now, the first thing I'm going to apply is this new water jelly primer. I wanted to show you the product being dispensed, and that way you can get a feel for what the texture looks like. It's really a water jelly is the perfect way to describe it. So I just applied that all over the face, and 2 pumps of product was pretty much perfect to cover my face. Now we're going in with the foundation. I'm using the shade Shortbread 200B. At first glance, I thought this might be a little bit too golden for me since I tend to go for a more neutral foundation. But once I started applying and blending it in, it really is quite a good match for me. I decided to do just one half of my face first so that we could get a really good side-by-side. So I'm buffing the foundation in with the Build and Buff brush. Typically, I like to use a damp sponge, but I just wanted to give all of these products a shot. Since they were released together, it seemed like they were meant to be used together, and this brush was really quick, and I think that the coverage and finish with the brush blending ended up being really nice. You do get a little bit more coverage out of your products versus a sponge because the brush doesn't soak up as much product. So here we're seeing half of my face with one layer of the foundation and half just completely bare still. I think that it looks great. It looks skin-like. The coverage is really impressive, and overall pretty happy with it so far. Of course, I had to go back and even out the other side of my face. Be kind of weird to wear half a face of foundation all day. I just repeated the exact same procedure on the other half of my face so that both sides would match, and this is what one full layer looks like on the face. I think it looks nice. That primer definitely helped keep some moisture in the skin, and you can tell it's not looking really flat. There's still some shine to the skin. I did decide to build up a second layer in some spots where I typically like a little bit more coverage. Since this is supposed to be a buildable foundation, I really wanted to test that and see how it would layer up. It blended in really nicely. I didn't feel like the first layer was disturbed by applying a second layer, and overall pretty happy with the application so far. I think it looks nice. It looks skin-like. It's not a full coverage, but I didn't go for a full second layer to build up. So far, so good with this dry skin. Not looking too heavy, not looking too cakey. So I will be back with some check-ins soon. Okay, so you can see the rest of my makeup has been completely finished. I did do some concealer and a little bit of setting powder on my concealer, but I didn't all over face powder, I didn't all over setting spray. Of course, I'm wearing a little bit of cheek color as well. I tried to keep the variables to a minimum. So let's see how we're doing. It's been just about 3 hours of wear. I think I'm gonna have 6 hours total. So let's see what 3 hours in looks like. This is actually looking way better than I expected. I think as it sort of warmed to my skin, it started to melt in a little bit more, because when I first applied it, I felt like it looked a little bit heavy in this area, and it actually is looking pretty good. I mean, it looks fantastic on my cheeks. We're not getting a terrible amount of like caking up around the nostrils, which is a common problem for me. I know a lot of people have problems with that. Maybe a little bit of dryness around the mouth. Let's see how it looks between the eyebrows, because that's another spot where I get a lot of dryness. Actually not bad, honestly. I mean, I've got a little creasing here from my forehead wrinkles. That happens to the best of us. It's just a fact of having forehead wrinkles. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know, I feel like overall it looks pretty good. Does it look like maybe it wore off a little bit right here? I can't tell. So overall at the 3 hour mark, I think it looks pretty darn good. It definitely looks better than I expected. I was kind of expecting it to look pretty heavy, and I actually think it looks really nice. Let's see what another 3 hours will do to this foundation. So I'll see you soon-ish. All right, I'm here for my final check-in. We have about 6 hours of wear on these products, so let's just really get up in there and see how they did. Okay, so it actually looks pretty good. We did not get a ton of foundation caking up around the nostrils, even after wearing it all day. I will say I think it's starting to look a little heavy in this area. And it really looks like it's worn off down here, which is weird because I haven't been like touching it. Typically when my foundation wears off, it wears off over here because this is the side that I hold my phone on. But it actually looks better on this side than this side. So I don't know what's up with that, but it does look like it wore off a little bit along the jawline here. It looks pretty decent on the chin. Around my mouth and in between my brows is my most problematic areas for me, and like right around the nostrils here, but overall it looks good. It looks way more lightweight and way more skin-like than I expected. It does look like it kind of wore off my nose throughout the day too, but I didn't do any touching up. I didn't do any powdering or any setting spray. I do feel like I'm getting a little bit of that heavy look right here where it maybe looks like it's kind of separating a little bit. And I've got some deeply embedded forehead wrinkles here. It's just the facts of life, okay? I'm about to turn 35. You get forehead wrinkles for your birthday when you turn 34. I don't know if you knew that. I think overall it looks really good. The only place where I've had much problem at all with this are pretty typical for me. So the forehead wrinkles in between the brows and around the mouth looking a little bit like kind of heavy or dry is normal. The only thing that I think is weird is how it looks really worn off right here. I think overall my skin looks really nice. The coverage overall held up really well. This kind of freak incident spot over here where it looks like it wore off, but I think overall the coverage held up really well. Where it could have started looking really dry, really cakey, kind of around the eyes, around the nose, on the tops of my cheeks, I think it looks nice. I don't know. What do you think? Overall, I'm impressed. I have to be really, really picky when I'm reviewing, and I have to point out every little flaw in every little spot, but I don't think it's bad at all. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. This foundation definitely exceeded my expectations. I typically do not love stick foundations. I have really dry skin, and the only stick foundation that I've ever found that really worked for me was the one from Juvia's Place. And I don't quite love this one more for my dry skin. However, I like this a lot more than I thought I was going to, especially based on the liquid foundation from Huda Beauty not really working for me at all. I just didn't like the way that the finish and the coverage from her liquid foundation looked on my skin personally. I know a lot of people love that one. It just wasn't for me, and between that experience and my past stick foundation fails, I expected to promptly hate this and to be giving this a savagely bad review, but I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I do think this hydrating primer really helped this to work because I could feel immediately a cooling, moisturizing sensation. As soon as I applied this, my whole face felt like it took a little sip of water, and I love that for me. So I don't think that I would like this foundation as much without the water jelly primer. I definitely want to try this with my Glossier Future Dew primer. I do think that would mitigate some of the spots where after all day of wearing it ended up looking a little bit heavier, a little bit cakier. But look, let's be honest. I had to super zoom in with an HD lens and like point out those spots. And that's not the reality of most of us wearing our makeup day to day. This is sort of a more extreme situation since I'm reviewing it, I'm filming myself, I have to be extra picky. But I gotta say, I actually think this is a really nice addition to the Huda Beauty line. As somebody with a little bit more mature skin, definitely super dry skin, I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I actually like it. The brush is fine, it's neither here nor there, it wasn't bad. I'm not gonna, you know, go rush out to buy a backup or anything. The foundation is surprisingly good, and the primer is my favorite thing that I tried today. I will definitely be using this again. I think just based on my skin type, this is the most geared to me, so that's probably why I like it the best. I think that overall this was a pretty successful wear test. I'm really happy with the results of wearing this makeup all day. I would love to hear what you think about this product. Are you interested in this foundation stick? I haven't really heard many people talking about it yet, so I would love to hear your thoughts. Are you planning on picking this up? And tell me what you think about the previous Huda foundation too. I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Water jelly hydrating primer. Killing it. Is, of course, a double... Anyway, no matter. Almost said blush. It's not a blush. It's not a blush, it's a brush. I guess we'll see about that. Yikes. I'm tired. Help. What? Did that make sense? I think it only made sense in my head. Great. Crushing it. I really appreciate you watching, and wait, what's my outro? How long have I been making YouTube videos? Oh, this is bad. Okay. What was I doing? Okay. I think I need more caffeine. I'm at that crossroads now where it's the end of the day and it's like, do I need more caffeine or should I just start drinking? Adult problems. Anyway, did my lighting start to look weird at some point? Or is it just me being weird in general? I feel like my autofocus is off. I don't even know. Whew, it's just one of those days. Okay, I gotta clean this all up. I gotta go edit a bunch of videos. I just gotta get on it, she says, as she sits there, staring into space. Alright, anyway. Hope you have a great day, and I love your face so much, and it doesn't matter It doesn't matter how much coverage you put on there. It doesn't matter what kind of finish you put on there. I'm still gonna love that face of yours. Okay? Okay. Have a great day. Okay, love you, bye.